Hey, what's up, guys? I'm out here in the shop. It's cold, but I had some things on my mind, so I figured I would pull the phone out and get some video footage of some thoughts that I had going on in my head. We talked about TSPs, we talked about 401ks, we talked about saving, investing, dividends. Um, Prepare for what you want to do in the future. Somebody years ago asked me if I had a 5 year plan, and of course I did not. So I sat down and I wrote my goals, where I saw myself in 5 years, and something like that seems like it's not that big of a deal. But honestly, if you don't have some sort of direction, um, I use the analogy when you zero in a weapon. You're trying to get those bullets on paper, on the target, so you can adjust, so you know where to go. If you're high right, you need to come down, move to the left. But at least you're hitting the paper. If you don't have some sort of direction, if you don't know where your bullets are hitting, um, how are you going to shift? What decisions are you going to make to become successful? And I think majority of people, whether they admit it or not, do want to be successful. I don't think it's laziness. I think it is intimidation. I think people are intimidated. I think they don't know where to start. And, I'm here to tell you, just grab a notebook, get a piece of paper, and say, I want to do this, 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 and this. Have your goals, on a piece of paper where you can physically see them. And the more you see them, the more you think about them, the more you will be able to make it a reality. I'm a huge believer in law of attraction. I know some people think that that's, woo woo, or a fantasy, or whatever you want to say, but I honestly believe in it. Um, I think it is real. I think that if whatever you think and say, that's where you will be. That's where you will be. If you have a positive mindset, and you believe that you're going to be in the next 5 years, a manager at your company, there's nothing stopping you. The only thing stopping you is you. Um, Doubt and fear and all that stuff are just things that are ingrained into us as a human being, and everybody has it. The ones who are successful are the ones who can quiet that voice. We all have a voice. I promise you, we all have a voice. I did MMA. I boxed. Um, I've competed. And I will tell you that when you get in the cage or you get in the ring, everybody's scared. People will say that they're not scared. I can assure you that every single person that steps in that ring has some sort of doubt, have some sort of fear. But through confidence and great belief in oneself, you can quiet that voice. You can throttle that adrenaline dump. And that's really what it comes down to in life. You're trying to quiet that voice that's telling you you can't. Maybe because your friend or your cousin or your father or your mother or whoever, somebody in your life that you respect their opinion, told you you can. You can. It's just, there's a science to it. You just have to get a notepad, write down what your goals are, have positive thoughts about those goals, do everything in your power to make that a reality. And believe it or not, you will be amazed in 5 years where you will be when you take a look at that 5 year plan. You know, doubt and fear and all that stuff that comes along with it is just a voice inside your own head. It's you versus you. You can quiet that voice. It takes training like anything else. It takes discipline like anything else. I'm not going to buy this. I'm going to save it because this is my end goal. This is where I want to be. Instead of scrolling, doom scrolling for hours and hours and hours, endless things that have no value in your life, invest your time and energy and even money to becoming successful. If there's a book on Amazon that you want to read, go get Audible, get the paperback version. if you're in like IT, for example, like I told you, I was in IT in the latter part of my career when I was in the military. I would take a lot of these Udemy courses. I would learn how to do programming. And I didn't become excellent at it. Like Malcolm Gladwell said in the 10,000 hours of mastery, it takes 10,000 hours based on the studies that they did in that book. It takes about 10,000 hours for you to become a master at whatever the craft is. So if you've only dedicated 1 minute, a few days to one thing, and you expect your body to change, or you expect your finances to look different, you're lying to yourself. It's all about consistency over time. Being disciplined and staying consistent over time, whatever that goal is. And then in order to make it a reality, put it on paper, look at it. But if you don't have goals to start with, back to the analogy of sighting in the weapon, how are you ever going to know where those rounds are impacting? If you want your weapon system to be on and you hit your target, you know for a fact you're going to hit your target, you have to make sure that you're actually on the paper so you know how to adjust that fire and get those bullets in the bullseye. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to hit the bullseye. We're trying to hit the bullseye of early retirement, hit the bullseye of a great physique, and to be healthy and to be happy and to spend time with our family. That's what we're trying to do in life. You can do it. It just takes some discipline and a little bit of time and effort each day consistently. Nothing huge. Nothing's saying that you got to go out and save the world in one day. That's not what this is about. This is about that self-belief and investing in yourself and spending a few minutes, each day, 15 minutes. Grab that notepad, look at it, say, okay, what's on my list to get this goal checked off? And do everything in your power to check those boxes. And once you get a system, once you have a notepad with a system set up, prioritize. Say, well, in order for me to become the manager at my company, they're saying I need an associate's degree. Okay, well then go and take a look at how long it will take you to get an associate's degree, how much money it would take you. Maybe you have to make an investment in yourself. If that's really the goal that you want to achieve, do that. Take that leap. Don't be scared. Don't have self-doubt. If you really want something, go after it. But I'm going to try on this channel to give some more tips and tricks on finances and different things. Since I pretty much not working right now because, like I said in my other videos, been medically retired from the Army, and I've done well with my finances, and we're doing well financially. I've noticed, they say, well, once you retire and you don't have to go to work and you don't have to wake up early, you don't have to do all these things. You get this idea in your mind like, that is what I want. And then you get it. Well, first of all, I can't sleep in. I wake up around 5 o'clock every morning, sometimes 4 o'clock. If I sleep in past 5:30, that's considered me sleeping in, because I guess I've just done it so much, woke up early so long that I can't sleep in. I don't want to sleep in. I don't want to sleep my life away. So, I get up and then I don't really have anything going on. So I'm thinking, well, I'll throw some of these videos out there, and I will tell you, it's really helped me mentally to be able to focus my attention on something, to feel like that I have a purpose now, because, when you leave service or you leave a job, whatever your thing is, when you do end up leaving, believe it or not, even if you say, well, I can't stand those people, I'll be so much happier. You may be, but you as a human being, we look for purpose. And the military was great to me, so don't get it wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it's this fantasy in our minds, like when we're done, when we're finally done, we can relax. You don't want to relax. That saying, a rolling stone grows no moss. It's true. That's what happens to a lot of people when they get old enough to retire. They retire and they listen to this fantasy like, we're just going to sit around, we're going to do nothing. That's great. But when you're sedentary, what happens? You gain weight. Your joints lock up. You can't move. And then you live this life that they promised you, this retirement. You get it at 65. And then you're sitting around and not doing a whole lot, and not staying busy, not staying focused, so you get unhealthy, and then you have very little time to enjoy it. So the goal in this channel is to get more Americans to early retirement, to break free of the rat race. But I'm going to try to show some techniques, the very simple techniques, and a systematic approach to where you can try to focus and say, hey, I can hit that target, whatever that target is. I want to see everyone do well, and I'm really excited to see where this channel goes. Like I said, it's given me purpose, and I really enjoy this. So I look forward to talking to you guys in the future. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you in the next one. Godspeed.